Ms. McGowan, you say after the death of your husband, you were trying to find your way, but ended up finding a man on the internet, had sex with him, and 2 weeks later, you discovered that you're pregnant.
If you're looking for a perfect case study in contradictions, excuses, and really the true meaning of fatherhood, you have definitely found the right deep dive.
Oh, absolutely.
Today, we are taking you right into the courtroom for the drama of McGowan versus Martin.
And this is such a classic high-stakes paternity battle, but it has this just astonishing emotional twist to it.
Right.
You have Miss McGowan. She's there seeking child support for her 8-month-old son, Caden. And Mr. Martin, he walks in just full of defiance, tells the court he has a mile-long list of doubts.
And this is where it all starts, the nugget of absurdity that just defines the whole case. Martin's main defense for denying he's the father is to accuse Miss McGowan of being promiscuous.
Mm-hmm.
He's citing the fact that she was with other men around the time of conception. But here's the thing. He freely admits they had sex on their very first date.
And without protection.
Without any protection.
It just immediately sets up this, this fundamental conflict we're here to unpack. How can one person participate in a behavior, sex without protection, and then turn around and use that exact same behavior as his reason to deny everything?
The reason why I don't believe is this is my child, because she's very promiscuous. And when you have sex with a woman, the first day, that's red flag anyway.
It's not even about biology at that point.
No, it's a public performance of blame avoidance. It's just incredible.
Exactly. And so you're diving into this situation where, responsibility is being weaponized. And then you have this other man, Mr. Brody, who is just standing there desperately hoping he is the father.
While the guy who could be the biological father is running in the opposite direction, it is a complete mess of timelines and motives.
So, okay, let's start with Miss McGowan's side of it. She told the court she met Mr. Martin online. This was after her husband had passed away.
Right.
And pretty soon after they were intimate, we're talking like 2 weeks later, she finds out she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And now Caden, the baby, is 8 months old.
And her core complaint is just that Martin has offered zero support. The words she used were nothing at all. No diapers, no money, not even an acknowledgement. This is about way more than just money. It's about a total denial of involvement from day one.
She felt completely misled, too. She said his online profile was this image of a committed, good father, a man into church.
Everything she was looking for.
The kind of stability she needed.
He told me he was a good man, he was a good father, he was into church and everything.
And when the court asked Martin directly, have you provided any support?
Yeah.
His answer is just a flat, no, I did nothing.
And that's where his defense comes in. His main justification for all this doubt is his perception of her character.
Which is based on what?
Almost entirely on the fact that they were intimate on their first meeting. He literally calls that a red flag and labels her very promiscuous.
The sheer audacity of that judgment. I mean, the judge even pressed him on it. If you found her behavior so alarming, why didn't you use protection?
And his answer is it's astonishing. He says he didn't have time.
He didn't have time.
When the passion goes, it goes. You got time to be doing all that when you're in the heat of the moment.
Because he was in the heat of the moment. It is the classic excuse for male irresponsibility. It's like saying, my passion overrides my logic, but her actions are somehow still morally wrong.
It just completely sidesteps the fact that two people were involved in that moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, as if that wasn't enough, he throws in this pseudo-medical claim to try and get himself out of it.
Yes. He says that because he has sickle cell, his sperm count stays low, which makes it hard for me to make a baby anyway.
As far as my sperm count, it stays low because I have sickle cell, and it's hard for me to make a baby anyway.
So he's trying to medically disqualify himself.
It's just another layer of excuses. It's an easy thing to claim in a heated moment, hoping the confusion about fertility will stick.
And the drama just keeps escalating. Martin then says, on that first night they were together, after they had sex, he went through her phone.
You have to pause on that.
I know.
Snooping through her phone the very night they meet, after being intimate without protection. It just speaks volumes about his character, his suspicion.
Right. And he claims he saw texts that prove she was with another man just days before. He says he saw a text saying, a man just came over here the other day and gave you sex.
But setting aside how invasive that is, the logic he uses in court just completely breaks down.
Exactly. His whole argument is, I can't be the father because there were other mans involved.
You're one of them.
You are one of the other mans. If you were involved without protection in that exact window, you're on the list of potentials.
The math just doesn't work for his argument to hold up. He'd have to exclude himself from the equation, which he can't do. He admitted it.
And Miss McGowan, she is just unwavering through all of this.
Completely.
Despite everything, she says she has no doubt Martin's the father. She says the baby, Caden, looked exactly like him.
And for her, it's about accountability. She even says he has other kids that he neglects. It's not just about the money.
So to get to the truth, the court had to demand absolute honesty about that critical conception window.
This is where the paper trail, the calendar she brought, becomes so essential.
Okay, let's get into the specifics because this timeline is everything.
The critical date for Mr. Martin was April 2nd. That's when they were intimate.
Okay.
Now, the doctor's estimated date of conception, that was April 3rd.
Wow. That is a perfect alignment.
A perfect alignment for Martin to be the father. But this is where the tension comes back because of the other man.
Right. She had to admit that she was intimate with someone else.
A couple of days later. And that second man was confirmed to be Mr. Brody, the man she's currently living with.
And what were those dates?
She was with Mr. Brody on April 5th and April 6th. And yes, she confirmed. She did not use protection with Mr. Brody either.
So you have April 2nd with Martin, and then April 5th and 6th with Brody, all unprotected, all right around that April 3rd conception estimate.
Exactly. That margin of error means both men are very much in play biologically.
Which raises a huge question, right?
Right?
Why pursue Martin so hard when it could blow up her current relationship with the supportive guy, with Brody?
And she admits it. She says, yeah, proving Martin is the father would definitely complicate things at home, but she's insistent. For her, it's about forcing him to take responsibility for all of his children.
And that sickle cell claim he made, that got debunked pretty quickly, right?
Oh, yeah. McGowan confirmed Caden does not have sickle cell, so that defense is out. And it turns out Caden had a really difficult start.
Born 5 weeks early.
Immature lungs, he had a 12-day stay in the NICU, and that detail, it's pivotal. It shifts everything from courtroom drama to the reality of critical care.
In that NICU stay.
My baby was born 5 weeks early. His lungs was not mature. He stayed in NICU for 12 days.
Is the perfect, if heartbreaking, entrance for the other potential father, Mr. Brody.
Mr. Brody walks into the courtroom and he immediately confirms the timeline. Yes, he was with her during that window.
But his whole demeanor is just completely different from Martin's.
Radically different. Instead of denial, Brody is hopeful. He looks at the baby and says, with total sincerity, I just pray that he's mine.
Do you believe you are Caden's biological father?
Yes, ma'am.
You do?
I do.
You want to be
Yes, ma'am.
this child's father?
Yes, ma'am.
He said he thought Caden looked like him, a little light-skinned red baby, had my cow licks and everything.
But as we know, looks can be deceiving. Brody's real claim to being a father isn't built on genetics. It's built on his actions.
The contrast is just. It's the most powerful part of this whole case. Martin offered nothing.
And Brody offered everything. He took care of her through a really difficult pregnancy with borderline diabetes, swollen feet. He was washing her clothes, feeding her, making sure she got to every single appointment.
I washed her clothes. I fed her. Her feet would swell up. I took care of her. I made sure she was at her appointments. I took care of Miss McGowan.
And that 12-day NICU stay, that's where it really comes into focus. Martin lived close enough to walk to the hospital.
And didn't visit once.
Not once.
Yeah.
While Brody, he was the one there.
He was there when Caden stopped breathing. He was the one sending Miss McGowan pictures from the NICU. This man stepped right into the chaos of a fragile, premature newborn and just provided unconditional support.
He was being the father even without the DNA test.
He was providing the emotional security and the physical presence that a father is supposed to.
And what's really remarkable is his integrity about the legal side of things. He did not sign the birth certificate. It still says no father.
Yeah, he explained why. He said he wanted the real father to have the chance to step up. He put the baby's legal truth ahead of his own desire to claim him.
So did you sign the birth certificate?
No, ma'am, because one thing I say is this. Before I signed that birth certificate, his real father, if I'm not his father, his real father should have the opportunity to put his name on there and have his son and his...
That's an incredible act of selflessness.
It is. But of course the conflict picks back up. Martin tries one last smear, claims she came back to his house 6 weeks after Caden was born.
Which he denied.
Vehemently. But Brody just cuts right through it and he brings it all back to the baby. He says, "It's not about Miss McGowan and I. It ain't even about him. It's about that little baby right there."
And he makes it clear Caden will not fall short on a daddy or a father.
And then he reveals he's already a dedicated single dad to a 7-year-old daughter. And get this, he received the Community Father of the Year award in Memphis.
Wow.
His plea, describing seeing Caden in the NICU with those tubes running out of him and just feeling, "That's my baby," it perfectly captures the difference between biology and love.
The court had seen enough.
Yep.
It was time for the science.
Yep. The judge ordered the DNA results to be read to finally resolve the uncertainty around April 2nd, 5th, and 6th.
The tension in that room must have been just unbearable. You have Brody hoping for a title he's already earned.
And Martin, armed with his excuses.
And the results were read. The court confirmed they were from DNA diagnostics, in the case of McGowan versus Martin.
The ultimate verdict was read aloud. The biological father is determined to be Mr. Martin.
And Martin's reaction is just an immediate, complete pivot.
Oh, it's wild. He yells, "That's what's up! That's what's up!" He just instantly discards that mile-long list of doubts and starts claiming his rights.
Now he can teach the baby carpentry.
It's a classic display of entitlement, just completely replacing denial.
The switch is so jarring.
Yeah.
8 months of nothing, followed by this self-serving excitement.
And Mr. Brody, ever the voice of reason, just points out the simple reality. You've missed 8 months.
And then there's that final piece of dialogue where Martin is talking to Brody. It's so revealing.
This is maybe the most insightful moment of the whole thing. Martin tells Brody he actually suspected the baby was Brody's because, and I'm quoting here, "Ain't no man in his right mind just gonna pick up and just do that."
Do that, meaning?
Meaning provide unconditional support, step up for a woman and a child without a biological guarantee.